Before I get in the video, just a quick reminder, in the pinned comment, I am doing my own economic relief for my subscribers. There's a link to the video that shows you how to apply. It's a minimum of 10K in the pool right now, and it continues to go up every single day. Let's get into the video.
What's that? Are you crying? Am I crying? No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy from the Quartering, and H3H3 released a video that was strongly disliked by a large portion of his audience, while another portion of his audience really liked it. Now, I will say I am forever thankful for what Ethan Klein and Ela Klein did to protect fair use with FUPA. Honestly, you can't take that away from them. They talk about in their response video that, yes, the money was depleted. And I'm going to talk about that later in this video, but I don't think it's fair to completely discount or trivialize just how monumental that decision was. I do believe, having been through a legal proceeding, that they did burn through all that cash. And I do believe that they spent extra money on top of it. And what I believe even more than that is just how important it was, and how, regardless of the things that Ethan does or says that I don't like, I will always be thankful for him for that. So no matter what I say in this video, I and every other YouTuber owe Ethan Klein and Ela Klein a debt of gratitude for what they did with FUPA. All I ask, and I'll say this now, is that they work to replenish that money. The problem I had with it was not, in fact, his squashing of or debunking a claim made by Some Ordinary Gamer or Muda. The problem I had with it was that Ethan Klein picked the absolute easiest, sloppiest critique of himself, one that he couldn't have his buddy Susan removed from YouTube to respond to. I think Muda himself would and has admitted that his critique was sloppy and misplaced.
Now, I donation shamed Jeff Bezos, or not I donation shamed, I claimed Ethan Klein had donation shamed Jeff Bezos for $100 million, which was a complete fallacy. Wrong. I made that video sort of in kind of like, you know, anger of being like a former fan, uploaded it, and I made a wrong statement.
Not his best work. He's apologized and removed it. I think that's fine. He's also said he doesn't want anybody caping for him. He doesn't want anybody escalating things between him and Ethan, which I will accept and honor. This isn't about Muda versus Ethan. This is about Ethan's response to literally no criticism and a 33-minute video filled with so much hypocrisy, it's mind-boggling. On top of that, he finally admitted that the money from the FUPA fund is gone and completely skipped over the real criticism that he continues to face. Ethan Klein, his biggest problem is in 10-minute, heavily edited videos, he's very palatable. People really like him. Now that he's running a 3-hour stream of consciousness podcast, people are finding out more about who Ethan Klein really is.
Just as we thought.
It's the Mr.
Some people really like that. Some people really dislike that. Well, that's up to you, how you feel about it. Me, I don't necessarily care for him anymore, but his response video, however over the top and conceited it was fine. It did a fine job debunking a really light criticism by another YouTuber, conveniently glossing over all other real criticisms to which he will never respond. Except I will bring them back up just one more time. It isn't my intention to slam Ethan or slam Muda here. I think both of their responses were flawed, and at the end of the day, unintentionally, Muda was still right, but he said he wants to drop it, and so I respect that. Ethan Klein's response, however, was sloppy and out of practice. He spends most of his time now just screwing around on a podcast.
Fat rips. Nice. You're good. Yeah, you get it. Damn, you know how to keep it in. That's a man's ways.
And hasn't exercised any critical thought in what seems like forever, which is exactly what happens when you give up. It's exactly what leads to a 33-minute response that can be best described as Wojak fake smiley face over crying face. Now, very quickly, I want to get some of the hypocrisy out of the way. Again, I understand many of my viewers enjoy Muda, and many of my viewers enjoy Ethan Klein. The biggest crux of Ethan Klein's pwning of Some Ordinary Gamers was a timeline that didn't line up with Muda's point. Muda claimed that Ethan Klein donation shamed Jeff Bezos over not donating enough money to the current issue facing the world. He was incorrect. Ethan Klein said those things several days before Jeff Bezos had in fact donated money. However, Ethan Klein has a long history of donation shaming Jeff Bezos in particular. The evidence bears that out. So while Ethan is technically correct that he did not donation shame Jeff Bezos in this particular case, he has plenty of times before.
But he's so certain that I donation shamed Jeff Bezos. Imagine coming and making a video with such righteous anger about something that never even happened. What I really wanted to say is that a lot of people have been donating a lot of money. Metallica donated $750,000. Chris, $750,000, obviously.
Metallica?
Yeah.
The band?
The band. Chris Hemsworth, Thor donated $1 million. DiCaprio donated $3 million. Kylie Jenner, DiCaprio. Leonardo.
Nice.
Kylie Jenner, $1 million. Elton John, $1 million. Ethan and Ela Klein of Teddy Fresh, $50,731. But then here's where my question comes in. Now, I'm not usually someone. Money is money. Donation is a donation. It's all good. But what do you make of Jeff Bezos donating $690,000?
A lot of people made the comparison of like that's literally the equivalent of a middle class person donating, I don't know, $69 or something. I think that was
less.
Less. Yeah, I think it was like that was the argument.
I think it was.
He should have made that anonymous.
He makes that in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yes, on a technicality, Ethan Klein was right. He did not do it in this exact moment, but he had been spouting this for weeks. In fact, there were even tweets saying, I'm curious if billionaires are going to ride for America in the next 12 weeks and mass produce ventilators, or if they will retreat to their apocalypse bunkers. We are about to find out if they have value to society or not. Hashtag, where is Jeff Bezos? He also says, they have taken so much from society for huge personal gain. Now is a time of national crisis, and they have the resources to give back and make an impact. I believe they have a moral obligation to help. If not, we cannot justify the massive resources they hoard. Eat the rich, right, Ethan? So, yes, you totally BTFO'd Muda on the timeline. But make no mistake about it, you have, in fact, donation shamed Jeff Bezos, and you have also badgered him on Twitter. Now, do I care? Am I caping for Jeff Bezos? No, but I am caping for the truth. Now, the next issue I have with your video is your appeal to emotion, in that you were doxxed, and it was unfair of Muda to show a picture of your home. By the way, a picture that 1,000 other YouTubers have showed, 1,000 other magazine people have shown, but you call it doxing. Interesting.
It's also hypocritical because it is the same guy that lives in a $10 million mansion. Look it up.
So now he gets his fans all riled up about what an evil dude I am, and then encourages them to go find out where I live.
See, this is kind of the emotional appeal that Ethan really relies on in this video. Is Muda encouraging them to find out where you live? I guess. You know, it's been widely reported that you live in a big mansion, but you insinuate that, I believe, that he's encouraging people to find out your home address because you continue on.
Now, when we moved houses, we moved because we kept getting swatted. That was the reason we decided to move. And when we moved, we made this thing that's called a blind trust, so that your address is not public when you buy a house. We went through great lengths with lawyers and accountants to set up this trust so that our personal address would be concealed. Well, there's a website called Dirt that is owned by Variety that specializes in essentially doxing celebrities. So to prop up this leak of our home address, while simultaneously lying to your fans about me is, in your own words,
Take.
You know, as a fan of yours, Muta, Some Ordinary Gamer, I have to say, you've really gone downhill.
See, and I have a big problem with this point too. See, Ethan has essentially said they leaked his home address. I didn't see it anywhere. If it's in that article, okay, but I didn't see it. Muta didn't leak your home address. Essentially, it was a picture of a house. A picture of a house that was already available online. So by your own standards, Ethan, in your Ty Lopez conspiracy video where you show his home, which we found out later that he rented, doesn't matter. In your own video, you were showing Zillow listings of where the guy lived. Interesting. So by your own standards, Ethan, Klein, you've done this too.
Stop ganging up on me! You're not my mother!
So again, really weak argument to really weak point that I guess you win by default because you can appeal to emotion and you can say, well, this guy's supposed to be my friend. He said doing this is kind of lame. And also I should say in Ethan's defense here, it's not a crime to be wealthy. It's not a crime to earn money and be successful. I don't think it's fair to just simply critique Ethan on that. It's the other things that people are critiquing, which is why Ethan's saying, well, he takes such a harsh reaction to when people criticize his money. I'll show you what's even more skeezy, I think, in Ethan here is he pushes back against people saying he's not donating enough, which, by the way, is also crummy. When Ethan, if nobody is required to donate any money, and if anybody's demanding Ethan Klein donate money, that's not cool either. However, if people are saying it in response to Ethan Klein saying somebody's not donating enough money, I think that's fair game. I would never expect Ethan Klein to donate any money. Him and his fans have raised probably $1 million+ over the years for various charities and causes, which is an amazing thing. But Ethan Klein also has no problem claiming that the money his fans raised was him donating money. I know it's a technicality, but this is the world Ethan Klein is living in to win this argument.
You guys following this? But he conveniently skipped over the fact that we have donated every time a tragedy has hit. When the hurricane hit Houston recently, we raised $237,000. When Humongous was in need, we raised $156,000. When the Paradise Fires hit California and ravaged that whole town, we raised $159,000. We donated tens of thousands of dollars during those campaigns. We also donated $50,000 to Australia to help with the wildfire there just recently. But you're gonna go cherry pick the one time I donated $1,000.
Now here's the part where I think Ethan just gets a little too emotional. He talks about basically a bunch of people posting Muta's video on his subreddit and then getting called out for deleting it. I guess it's funny, but you know what? If I ran a subreddit, which I don't, and some channel made a video on me and their viewers were spamming the link in my subreddit, I'd probably tell people to delete them too. You're not getting clout off of me. I understand that. I'm not gonna dig him on that. But when he goes on to insinuate that Muta should delete the video from his channel and then refers to it as slander, you know, a lot of people are really curious if something was said behind the scenes. I don't know. Usually when public beefs like this happen between major creators, DMs happen between them where they agree to both take stuff down. It looks like Ethan Klein has deleted some tweets and Some Ordinary Gamers put up an apology video and then deleted them. Did Ethan threaten to sue him? I don't know. It seems really unlikely. I know Ethan makes some bad takes, but it's really unlikely that he would do this. But again, people really need to learn what slander means. There's a difference between being incorrect and slander. Ethan would never have proved that in court.
And then re-uploaded with like higher likes. So it's been wild, all right?
Yes, it's been deleted about 200 times because your fans keep brigading our community subreddit. And by the way, the only place left that it needs to be deleted is from your channel because it's wrong and slander. And if it wasn't for Philly D's good foresight in raising this money, we would have definitely not had the longevity required to win this case. FUPA, the Fair Use Protection Account, was set up because we thought we had so much extra money that we would have all this leftover money after our lawsuit to help the community with fair use issues. That money will not be used for any other purpose. We will never see a penny of it. It is going straight from Philly D's campaign into an escrow account for the sole purpose of protecting fair use. And we will be its first client. And that's why we decided to donate $5,000 of our own money. But as the bills started piling up, and we soon realized that if we kept helping people, we were going to run out of money and be in a bad situation with the lawsuit, which was the entire purpose that people donated in the first place. It was our moral imperative to fight and win this lawsuit for the whole community. Over a year passed, and we depleted all of the money in the account. We showed one of our bills as things were heating up for just 1 month was $50,000. This was the bill we got. Can you see that? Do a little zoom there. Yep, that's 50. And then there's $54,000. All told, we ended up spending thousands and thousands of dollars of our own money on top of everything that was raised.
You know what? I believe you, Ethan. I believe that you've spent beyond that. And yeah, there's some theories going around about a lot of money coming from a Payday 2 Ethan and Hila Klein DLC. But from what I can tell, that DLC was only released on PC, has just 500 reviews. So I'm going to guess that it was purchased maybe a couple thousand times. It certainly probably wasn't the many hundreds of thousands of dollars that some people think it was. But I want to leave this video on a positive note. I understand that FUPA is depleted. I think most of us do. What I would ask that you consider is working with the community to replenish it, because myself and many other people that donated to FUPA wanted it to be there beyond a single client. I cannot deny the good that your single case had provided in terms of precedent. The mistake people make is thinking that this one case will protect us all. It won't. Sargon of Akkad recently added another fair use case to the win pile for YouTubers. That's 2 now. He probably could have used some of that FUPA money, to be honest with you. So what I would like is you to consider re-establishing the FUPA fund for fighting against fair use. I will be first in line to donate $5,000 to replenish this account. Please reach out to me, Ethan. I don't think that you've burned away all the goodwill that donating all of that money to the community gained you either. $150,000 from Ethan Klein directly, plus $50,000 from the creator of PUBG, equaling $150,000 cash given to the community. I'm giving away $10,000, and I was walking around like Mr. Big Britches. Love him or hate him, Ethan Klein has still done a lot of good for this community. Yes, he's made mistakes, but I'm hoping he can work to rectify them, and let's start by refunding FUPA. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.